This is Listening with Franklin Livingston, and our guest is Matthew Dean Hollis.
Journeys. Oh, so you went through all the 48 states
Yeah.
and landed back in New York City. Had a New Year's Eve party. Party means meet up,
Yep.
date,
Yeah.
found your girlfriend, and became a busy man. You were not single, available anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, like busy man.
A taken man.
A taken man.
A spoken for man.
Oh, spoken for man, yeah. Because, because see, the taken could also be like,
Yeah.
spoken for.
Yeah,
spoken for, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so then you drove her into your insanity? Like, hey, let's travel the world, or what?
Yeah. Well, actually, because I didn't have a job yet, she was working from home because COVID. So I would just come over to her place, and
Where was she living?
she was living in Williamsburg.
Oh, yeah, that's why you actually went away.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
So I just kind of like hung out in her living room while she would take work calls in her room, and then she'd come back out when she
And
was
that's
done with a
where
call.
you heard lingo? Like, oh
Uh-huh.
my God, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
What code
Yeah.
language they're talking about,
Uh-huh.
right? Okay.
And then half their calls were about like Netflix or something like that. And I was like, that's not a work call. What's going on here?
Right.
Um,
If I were you, I would like, hey, listen, you know someone at
Yeah.
Netflix? Can you connect
Can you
me to
get
the
me a-
production?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was pretty funny. Just our both kind of learning each other's what we do,
Words,
because she doesn't know anything about acting.
Yeah.
So it was interesting kind of.
Did you take her to
bonding over
Broadway plays then?
No.
Music? No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. We saw some shows once things were open.
Mm-hmm.
And now we go more often.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And she loves them.
Mm-hmm.
She's singing Dancing Through Life all the time. She
Oh,
loved
cool.
Wicked. So yeah. So basically we got together and she was working, I wasn't, and I got a text from the owner of the summer camp I used to go to as a kid, and she asked if I wanted to be a circus counselor.
Oh, cool.
So I was like, yeah, sure. So
You didn't tell me in the beginning, so I left circus.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
So I taught circus to kids ages 6 all the way up to 18.
Cool.
For that summer, so 3 months, and that was in upstate New York.
Upstate New York.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then after that, came back home, and I think it was only a couple weeks later I actually got a job in Turkey, doing a show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So it was through a Turkish production company? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Turkish production company, they do shows for schools in English so that the kids can kind of learn English.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of interaction between the show and the kids. So we actually, it was the first time they did that show, so we got to actually build the show, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
From start to finish. And our director was from Iran.
Oh, wow.
So I
you did tell me that. Yeah.
Got to learn a little bit of that.
I actually
too.
forgot that you had learned. Yes. Cool. So which city was in Turkey?
So we actually, it was a tour. So we started in Istanbul, then we went to Antalya, Ankara, and Izmir.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really want to travel to Turkey. I was just like scared.
Oh.
I've seen their soap opera type things and very nice
Uh-huh.
and very colorful.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh my God, I don't know. I don't speak the language. What language do you speak?
Turkish.
Turkish.
Yeah.
Itself is a language. Okay,
Turkey.
pardon my
Yeah.
ignorance, guys. Okay. One day I will. Yeah. So Iranian woman.
Yeah.
A female director from Iran.
Yeah.
Pakistani women are dangerous, bro. I know. I love you all. I have a respect for all of you, but they're very assertive. What about Iranian woman?
She was awesome.
Yeah.
So
You got along well.
chill.
That's why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But in general,
Yeah.
the demeanor
Yeah.
and all, was she really
She was
assertive
very
and-
soft, very soft. She was a cellist. She also painted. And she was in everything arts.
Oh,
Like
wow.
every single type of art you could think of, she did it, and she appreciated it, and she loved it.
Ooh.
And that's actually why she ended up moving to Turkey, because there's no
Yeah.
arts in Iran. And her parents were aspiring artists, and then they stopped because they were in Iran.
But they lived there,
but yeah.
and she was the
Yeah.
only one who went to Turkey.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
But right before I went to Turkey, I actually went to Egypt. So
Yeah.
my girlfriend and I flew to Egypt,
Right.
and then she flew back to the U.S. while I flew to Turkey. So when we were in Egypt, that was a totally different story.
Yeah, yeah.
The taxi.
That's why, I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never had a confidence to travel to Egypt or Morocco, or I don't think I have ever been to any legit Arab country.
Mhm.
Because, see, Dubai
Yeah.
or Abu Dhabi,
Yeah.
all people say, yeah, that's like more like vanilla version.
Yeah.
That's not authentic.
No,
That's
yeah.
the only Arabian
Yeah.
belt I've been to, which means nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I haven't been to true Arabian. I might, so if I don't open my mouth,
Yeah.
it might be easy for me to blend in.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
A lot of you might have to grow a mustache. There's a lot
yeah,
of
that
there's
takes
a
like
lot
a couple of
mustaches.
couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Beard and mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was very it's very interesting because I was the one that really wanted to go to Egypt.
Any reason? The pyramids.
Yeah, I love Egyptian like ancient artifacts and the history and the mythology. I love mythologies, all mythologies. I think they're so interesting the way different cultures had to figure out how we got here, and they just like I don't know how they came to be, but it's so interesting to find all these different cultures have such different views of how these things were made,
Right.
and the art that depicts them is so interesting too. Yeah. I love that. So it's kind of the same thing with art, why I love architecture, because it's when history meets art and you get to preserve it and see it. So when I was going to Egypt, I guess I didn't look at Egypt, pictures of Egypt. The Egypt now.
Now, yeah.
So when I
haven't seen Moses movie.
Yeah.
The pharaohs.
Yeah. So when I got to the airport, I was, slapped in the face with Egypt now. A lot of taxi drivers trying to make me pay them about 20 times the amount that it would actually take to get there. Thankfully, I'm from New York, so
you know how to be.
I know how to haggle.
Yeah.
I know how to. No, this is the price I'm giving you.
Right.
So we said no to like.
But overall, a sense of what do you call it, street crime and all that is there.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But did you feel it? Or not?
I felt a lot of eyes on me all the time. I don't know if that was eyes because I look different, or if it was eyes because they're trying to. I look like I have money, so they're gonna give me money. They're gonna try to take my money.
Other white
No,
type people too.
pretty much none that I saw.
Oh.
A couple at the pyramids, but again.
But it wasn't like Kuala Lumpur.
No.
Yeah. Wish
also
you landed in the wrong place there, bro.
Yeah.
But in general, I mean, because a lot of like Russians and Australian, you said, German, and even Vietnam, I saw a lot of Europeans.
Yep.
So it's like, because locals can't tell you an American no more. So so it was different there.
Yeah. And it was interesting too because we like to travel where we eat all of the local food. We try to be where the locals are rather than where the tourists are. But it was very hard to stay not in the tourist area. Yeah. In Cairo. There's only one hotel, pretty much.
That's it.
And it's either at the airport or it's right next to the pyramids. So we stayed right next to the pyramids.
So when you go there, do you get a sense that maybe I'm in the 18th century, 19th, or no?
No, you feel like
16th?
you're just. I don't know how you feel. I mean, like.
No, I mean, how do you say that?
It feels like you're in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like the
Not
1990s.
that old. Okay.
Yeah. Everything is like all the cars feel like they're from the 90s. All the architecture feels very kind of retro.
But do they have Wi-Fi and phones and all
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I know it's a
but
stupid
I mean
question,
but I mean the streets are sand and dirt. Like
so they don't have like concrete.
they have concrete paved roads, but the wind, I guess, blows all the
Ah,
dirt
okay,
or
because
sand
it's
around it.
desert.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So like nobody can see the lines, but even if they could, nobody drives with the lines. Everybody's driving like this all the time.
Mhm.
It's the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever experienced.
It's like Hanoi, Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, how do they drive? So they don't have stop signs.
Yeah.
They just know.
Uh-huh.
And I was there for a month.
Yeah.
Thankfully, didn't got into a crash, but I don't think I can drive there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are people on these scooter type.
Oh,
These
yeah,
are not
yeah,
motorcycles.
motorbikes.
Yeah, yeah.
Motorbikes. Yeah.
Moped type,
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
different. And the same thing, like
They drive on the street.
yeah.
Yeah, when I was there, they were driving on the street.
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you
And
doing?
I
I'm
don't
walking here.
No,
What are
I
you doing?"
can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I read somewhere that it's an art to drive in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Don't even think
Yeah.
of renting a car. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool. Was there a reason for you to go other than just this archaeology and
No.
historical fact? That
That
you
was
just
the
wanted
only
to see.
reason. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was disappointing.
It was very disappointing. Their museum was in the middle of renovations too, which I'm glad for them that it was being renovated, because what it is, or what it was when I went, was not a museum. It was just kind of a bunch of stuff in some glass cases, and it felt like there was no care or no honor to the things that were there, which is interesting because I just a couple days ago went to the Met with some friends from out of town, and I haven't been to a museum in a while in America, because I've already been to these museums, so why would I go other than to
Same.
other than to be with other people,
Yeah.
and see them see the stuff.
Yeah.
But it was actually kind of amazing to go back to going to museums in other countries and then going to the Met or going to the Louvre or going to England, or like those places. It's not just honor, it's about money. It's a museum is a statement about, we have the money to show off all this other stuff that's invaluable, right? So that's not a statement piece. Their statement piece is, look at the Nile, we're going to put a ship out there and give you crappy food, and you're going to pay us to do that. Or let me beg on the street for your money, or try to take money from anybody that looks like me. So it was very off-putting. And I felt like I was on the defense. Like my guard always had to be up the whole time. Yeah. Which I don't enjoy.
No.
Because then you can't actually experience something.
Right. No one, I think, would enjoy it. That's why the reason I feel so comfortable in Asia. Yeah. I mean, the countries I go to, I went to, because I didn't have to really be on guard. And I was like, oh my God, all right. I'm so relaxed because I'm not worried about taxi driver taking me somewhere or taking advantage in terms of these days we have apps. I usually use an app to rent a taxi, and then but in general, that's why I haven't been to, but I had the same kind of fear. Should I travel to Turkey or not? So I was like, maybe not. When I was
studying abroad, I was supposed to go to Turkey. But there was a bomb threat right when I was supposed to go, so I didn't. So that's why I felt like, okay, this is my second chance to actually go. So that's why I really was passionate about, I want to do this because I want to be in this country, and I'm so glad I did.
So how are the local people?
In Turkey?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Wow. Amazing. Every single person was like, hey, you want to try this? We'll give you 15 pounds of pistachios for $1. And normally it's like $20.
But also, do they have this culture? I'm using the word culture, but were you able to go to people's homes? Did anyone invite you, or they don't?
That was not. I was never invited to a home, except for a restaurant that we went to every single night during the rehearsal period, because it was her home. It was like the outside. She had a partition from
This
the
is
home part, and,
right, right,
and then
right.
the restaurant part. And the
Okay.
restaurant part was 4
Storefront
tables.
type, right,
So,
right.
yeah.
The reason I'm asking, like
Yeah.
somebody in Dubai who was very close to a
Yeah.
couple of wealthy Emiratis, you
Yeah,
said?
Emiratis. Yeah.
Emiratis, yeah. And I asked him, "Have you been to their home?" Because he was like asking
Yeah.
this guy. I was calling them Arab, but thank
Yeah,
you for
yeah.
the correction. These are Emiratis, and
Yeah.
he was thinking, "How's your mom and all that?" So this guy who was not an Emirati,
Yeah.
and I said, "Have you been to their home? Have you met his mom?" And he said, "No, they don't invite them unless
Yeah.
they only invite to the people who are at their level, either the Emiratis or royal types."
Mm-hmm.
And the other people, no matter how close
Yeah.
you are, you just hang out at public place.
Uh-huh.
It's not that they'll
Yeah.
ask you to come over for dinner.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay. And then one of our classmates in grad school went to Thailand, and she did an internship type thing
Mm-hmm.
for maybe a year in Thailand in a small town.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that people would invite her to their homes. Now, I don't know. Is it because she was a woman? That's
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
Personally, no one invited me, but also
Yeah.
I usually at these countries I was not that close to any
Yeah.
local,
Yeah.
and I wasn't on a mission trip or doing something, so I don't know. But I was just curious that. What about in Cairo? Did you talk to any locals
No.
apart from doing any business?
No.
You were scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because every local that I had interaction with, was someone that was trying to get something from me. And I didn't feel like going to that person's house would be a good idea.
No, it's wise.
But yeah, I do. So when I go now, after that experience, whenever I go to a country that I really don't know what it's going to be like, I'll go to a Marriott and I'll ask the front desk person, "Hey, where are the places that are safe?
Right.
Where are the places that I can go to make friends, and that the people around there would want to be or be friendly?" And then they'll tell you, "Don't go anywhere," or they'll just say, "Oh, there is where you go." So
it's so funny you say that. First time I went to Dubai, and I said that to the receptionist
yeah,
at the hotel, and the guy looked at me like this.
Yeah.
Because he was confused, and he said, "It's Dubai."
yeah,
And I was like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want to get like attacked by somebody. And later on, I learned, okay, they had, I think Dubai has changed.
Yeah.
Because I've been there several times. What it was, say, 15 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
People were
Oh,
so scared of the
Yeah.
law enforcement.
Yeah.
And they would say, oh, like, if I just do this chi walk when you're not allowed to, whatever, I'll get ticketed.
Oh yeah,
And tickets to
you will.
but I
There-
think
still-
overall, unless I became comfortable, I thought maybe people are less scared
No.
now.
No.
Or maybe
When I went,
Yeah.
so when I went, I had my roommate and I. So when I went, I was still on a show.
Mhm.
So whenever we were traveling internationally, we would have security that would stay at our hotel and then give us security details about where we were,
Mhm.
where you shouldn't go, what you should do, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, right? So they kind of gave us the lowdown, and we said, okay, cool, we can go this way on the train. So we took the train out to get some shawarma. The best shawarma of my
Do you
life.
remember which area?
Oh man, it was 3 stops. 3 stops away from the historical center of Dubai. And I was starting. I was starting from the Burj Khalifa station.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were staying on the other side of the Burj Khalifa. And
So still in a very tourist expensive
No,
type area.
no.
No?
3 stops, and you're in the hood. You're in the
Then
slums.
I haven't seen that part.
Oh, it's
probably.
great.
I haven't seen the slums.
Oh,
type.
I love it.
Right.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
the food is so good.
Mm,
It's just so good.
right.
But also the people, they're a little rougher. But as soon as you are nice to them, rather than being like if they see you kind of going away from them, they'll be away from you, right? But as soon as you lean in and you go, hey, where are you around? Like, do you live around here? What do you do? Like, then they'll start talking. They'll get interested in you. Yeah. So yeah, we had great shawarma, great conversation with our waiter. We got on the train, came back, and as soon as we got to the hotel, he was like, "My wallet's gone." So we were like, "Oh shoot, where are we gonna go?" We went back to the train. He's like, "Okay, it must be at the station before where we actually got on." So we went back to that station. We check, it's not there. We go, "Okay, well, there's a security booth in the train station. Let's go there." We go to the security booth. He goes, "Hey, I left a wallet." They go, "Is it blue, black, and blah blah?" And he goes, "Yes." And they're like, "Here." He's like,
Cool.
how did you get it?" And they go, "Oh, the cleaner picked it up and then gave it right to us." If that was in America, that wallet would have been gone.
Yeah.
Immediately. There's no cleaner.
But here's the thing: is it fear of the law? It's just your belief system that it's the right thing to do.
I don't think it's the belief system.
It's the fear of the law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in Dubai, it's the highest population of expats.
Yeah.
In that
mostly
area.
workers.
So it's mostly people not
from there
that don't believe
Yeah.
In Islam. So it's not a lot of Muslims.
But they have different, like, for example, there are a lot of Filipinos there.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
female workers, right? The reason, you know why I asked that question? Two things. Then I'll tell you my story of Dubai. I saw a video, I think it's India. There's a man selling tea in those disposable cups. And the man is not that young, not that old, some middle-aged man who could be a father and all that. And he's outside the train. The customer is inside the train. The train starts and begins to move. And the guy has to give back some change to the customer. This guy, who's not in great shape, he is running with the train. No, the train is not super duper fast. Still, he's running so he could give back the thing. So I thought that's honesty. That's the belief system. He believes that's the right thing to do. That's why I asked you this question, because I've seen in some other places the people, doesn't matter they're Muslim or they're from Hindu background, but they would hold on to the truth, which is that this is the right thing to do. This is not your money. This is not your thing. But something happened to me of similar nature. You know where that there's a frame thing in Dubai.
Yeah, the frame. Yeah.
It is the frame.
Yeah.
Closer to that, because I love, as I've mentioned about Kuala Lumpur, I love public transportation. Dubai's metro is very expensive. Although do you know they have a card that you can have a gold card, which is a first class?
Yeah.
Silver card, and there's an economy one. So it's very expensive. I have that gold one.
Yeah.
So
I took the economy. It was cheap.
It's just like at rush hour, overly crowded.
Yeah.
So I would take bus, and one day my wallet was lost. Came back to the hotel and I didn't have my wallet, and I was really worried and all. I called somebody here, arranged some money, and I thought it's gone now. Because I don't know what happened when. Near that frame, I changed the bus. And this was like, fast forward a week from that day, I lost it. A week after a week. And the bus driver, I think he was a Filipino. I don't remember. I think so. And he looked at me and he looked like this and guess I could talk to you. I said, yeah. You're the guy who lost his wallet. And I said, yeah, how do you know that? He said, I found your wallet and I gave that to the police department, right? And then I asked him, okay, how can I collect it? And he said, you'd go to the police station. And then, before that, I already went to a police station. But I think I was, like if it happened right now and I might have gone to the police station the same night. Yeah. And he probably got it next day when the bus was cleaned and all that. So I was hopeless. Because the police didn't have it in the record. So he told me that such and such station where their last stop was probably, that's the police station. And I did go there and they had it. They said you can check your money and all that. And which was also like, police station is not the place you really feel that people will be warm.
Uh-huh.
The idea is a global perception
Uh-huh.
that these are the people you should stay away from,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I got my wallet back, and so I wasn't sure. Like, it's because the dude was. It didn't have a lot of money, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
It only had $35 in
Yeah.
cash, but it had credit cards and ID
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that, debit cards. But maybe he thought it's the right thing to do. Maybe
Yeah.
he was scared. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there are still people who believe that one should be truthful to yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you're taking someone else's money or advantage, you're lying to yourself, and then you're contributing to the bigger lie, bigger evil. And honesty is the best policy. Back in the day, they
Yeah.
used to use that
Yeah.
phrase, right?
Yeah.
All right, great. So, two different experiences,
Yeah.
and both are Muslim countries.
Yeah.
Turkey,
Yeah.
they call it Turkiya now,
Yeah.
and Egypt,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And then I also went to Saudi Arabia.
When did you go there? Yeah.
Saudi Arabia was 2023. Yeah, 2023.
And
September.
September 20. How was the weather there?
It was hot.
Still.
we got off the plane and it was 120 degrees Fahrenheit with a 98% humidity.
Wow.
It was bad.
Yeah. It's all desert too, right?
Yeah.
So wait, what
And
did
we
you
went
go
to
there?
Jeddah. We weren't in Riyadh. We were in
So
Jeddah.
Jeddah is the capital or Riyadh?
Jeddah is the capital, and it is the center of what they're trying to make the tourism happen.
They're going to construct a tower too, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Good luck. Yeah.
Because I heard it failed.
Yes.
Because
yeah, we saw it.
Oh, you saw
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
We went. We took a trip to the Red Sea. To
The prince might watch it. Just so
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, we
yeah.
took a trip to the Red Sea to swim in the Red Sea because when in Saudi Arabia swim in the Red Sea.
Yeah.
But we passed the site, and it's huge, the foundation, but then that's all they got was the foundation, and that's it.
No, I heard that the challenges were to do with the desert because the soil
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is not good enough to hold such a gigantic
Mhm.
tower.
Yeah, and they also wanted to make it a mile long. Too.
The width.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
And
It was just
does the prince want to
unrealistic.
do that?
I don't know. One of the thousands
because,
of princes. Yeah, probably.
No, the main one.
Yeah. Yeah.
His name is MBS, Muhammad bin Sulaiman, right?
Yeah.
His Excellency. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because he's more active
Yeah.
in the decision making and all, and I think he's also he's friend of Donald Trump. I think so. He's closer to Donald Trump, or they have some sort of
Yeah.
chemistry. And I think he wants to do a lot of good things for tourism.
Yeah.
And because through him, I learned, I was watching, he gave an interview to Fox. I think Fox host went there, and the prince was talking about snowing in Saudi Arabia and
Really?
mountains there,
Wow.
which a lot of people don't know, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't know how large of a country it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we only talk
it's
about what we
huge.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if they have a part of Saudi Arabia where there are forests and mountains and it snows and all that?
Yeah.
So you went to Riyadh.
No, Jeddah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Riyadh. So where is the religious pilgrim spot?
Mecca.
Mecca itself is a city?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Mecca is about 3 hours bus ride from Jeddah. Which I was gonna go to, but then our security team said, "Do not go there.
Mhm.
You will not come back."
Mm.
So I did not go there.
No, I think there was a saying, first of all, non-Muslims were not allowed.
Yeah.
Right?
That was
So you might have not been given the entry.
Yeah.
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 I don't know if that changed.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I heard that was the law. And you went there to perform?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool. What did you perform there?
It was a stunt show. Live action
cool.
stunt show. Yeah. But we were at an arena we were there for 7 weeks. So it was a long time.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
And
it's
how
been a
did
long
you
time.
like the overall, apart from the hot
Yeah.
weather,
Yeah.
the food and stuff?
Food was kind of sparse where we were staying. There weren't a lot of options because not a lot of the restaurants were open during the times that worked for our schedule. Almost all of the businesses open at like noon or 1, and then they all close at like 8. So there's only a little time frame that they're even open. But that's because a lot of the people didn't have to have a job before COVID. But after COVID, a lot of people had to go get jobs. So it was very interesting learning the Saudi way of life.
Yeah.
Because also 90% of their social life is in the mall. They're very mall-centric culture. So we would go, there are 2 main malls, or 3 main malls, but 2 are bigger. So we would go to the 2 main malls, and it was like, once you see the mall, you've seen it. So, but that's like the only thing to do really, is go to the mall.
Yeah.
So a lot of those 7 weeks were just me in my hotel room, or walking outside for 10 minutes and then being drenched.
Yeah. I don't think I can. I develop headaches. But in general, the food is more like the Greek food we call in the U.S.
Mediterranean. Yeah.
Mediterranean. Is it the similar kind of food? Hummus and pita bread and
meze and that kind of stuff. Shawarma is in there. It's what you would think. Yeah.
No, I mean I have no clue, to be honest. I haven't been there, so it's just like I'm so clueless. I haven't been to. As I mentioned, the only Arabian part I've been to is Dubai, which is so different. And also the dumpling, as I mentioned, I do. Okay, I'm gonna order a pizza. Okay, why are you here then? So I was in Thailand, and interestingly, I was in Bangkok, and my landlady, like, I was sharing a room in somebody's home, and she once texted me that, hey, I go and check your door, and there's something hanging for you, and it was chicken pad thai, right? Authentic one.
Yeah.
But personally, I never ordered, which is stupid because I don't know. It's maybe being not familiar. It makes you think, okay, I'm okay. It's gonna get safe. And there's a McDonald's there, So which is a thing, but it's great to try.
It was interesting. Our first day, one of the other guys and I were trying to find a gym because we traveled with a gym, but it wouldn't be set up in time. And we would only be able to work out when everybody else was there. So we wanted the time in the morning to be able to work out. So we were trying to find a gym, and we found out that there are women gym and men gyms. So the gyms we found on the map were all women's gyms somehow. And we finally found one was actually a jungle gym. Was listed as a gym online.
Oh, cool. Was that cool or creepy? More like, oh my god, an insect.
No, it was just, this is just a jungle gym. Why is this listed as a gym?
No, when you said jungle gym, I'm assuming like they had installed the equipment there.
No.
Oh no.
It's like a jungle gym, like monkey bars. That's what they used as workout equipment. But then we finally found a functional gym, and the owner was a really, really nice guy. He's like, come on in for free. You don't need to pay me at all. Just come in, hang out. We'll get to know each other.
Was he an Arab?
Yeah.
Oh, with his the white thing?
No, he was progressive.
Okay. Yeah, so there are people who can be without their
everybody can be in Jeddah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeddah is very progressive because of that tourism. They want people to kind of come in. And his gym was both genders. Both genders. Yeah. So unisex gym, which was the only one in the area. But he said that he's talked to some other friends, and they're starting to try to open up unisex gyms also because of the tourism thing. Even our hotel had a women's time for pool and a men's time for pool. But for us, they went, you know what, you guys all know each other. You're from America. You can all go to the pool all the time. So they opened the pool up for all of us at all times. And that was kind of the whole it was kind of interesting and surreal that I was in Saudi Arabia for 9/11 of that year. And I saw 9/11 when I was a kid in New York. So just that, like,
What happened?
nothing during 9/11 there in Saudi. Because, yeah.
There was like for
But-
them, it's just an average.
Yeah, it's just a day. Yeah. But just the thought process of we're in Saudi Arabia during 9/11. Like,
No,
that's kind of
the
crazy.
reason I'm because of Bin Laden's background.
Yeah.
Because they're Saudi, the family.
Yeah.
You know, and how I mean, I don't know. I can't even relate to that. How did the other family members feel the shame and stigma?
Yeah.
Because whenever this event will be commemorated, people will say your guy did it, right? And which in itself it's probably not easy to process. That's why I was like,
Yeah. But I mean, the people there were amazing. All the
they're
people,
warm people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very warm. Especially at the grocery stores. We would go in, they'd say, "Hey, how's it going?" They wanted to interact.
Are they? So you talk about this like people being highly educated?
Yeah.
Because they have
Oh,
money, or they just love education.
I think it's a money thing. Yeah. I think it's a money thing because every house was a nice house. There were no not nice houses there.
But
much.
say the way you said it to me. No one is poor in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Or at least in Jeddah where we were.
Yeah.
There might be an outskirts of Jeddah that I wasn't aware of. Again, Jeddah is huge. Like, I didn't see all of it. I just saw the malls where I was, and then the arena, and then the Red Sea Resort that we went to that was 35 minutes away. But there was still more of Jeddah. Everywhere we went, there was more Jeddah.
No, the reason when you mentioned and see what I shared that I knew, I was told that if an Emirati loses home for whatever reason, like this young guy who had a fight with his father and then left and living in a hotel, the state was paying him 16 there, which if we make an equivalent, it'll be if somebody leaves home and stays in a hotel here and they are getting 16 grand per month from the state. Right? And so that's why I was thinking, what if Saudis do the same? I don't know.
There is some kind of arrangement. I don't really remember it, but the security guards were telling us about it because a lot of them were in different armies in different countries and had come in and we would all steam together at night. So we just kind of talked to them about where to go, what to see, that kind of stuff. But they were telling us about the Emiratis and how if you're Emirati, you're set for life. But they also said something about Saudi and how the multitude of other princes that there are and how they take care of their families and how big their families are. So there's something to be said for that. I don't exactly know the arrangement. But yeah, every Uber driver we had was a lawyer or a doctor from an American accredited school. So they would go through their schooling and then come to America to Harvard and be a lawyer and then go, I got the degree, I'll go back home and Uber. Which is crazy to me.
Which is crazy, but it sort of makes sense. Like in Pakistan, there's a time where the privileged people were, they would go to med school and you don't really practice it. You just have it, right?
Yeah.
That's something that you add to your accomplishments.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to deal with stress or let's say disease control or whatever, then do what's fun.
Yeah.
But only privileged people can do that.
Yeah.
Because these educational programs are so expensive.
Yeah.
So that's why I was trying to understand these people, they came from wealthy background or so they just like and they just driving Uber to meet new people and talk to them. It's not for them, it's not a they're not like making a living to
No,
live off.
no.
Of. Yeah, that's
I
just
think they're
to-
just passing the time.
yeah, yeah,
Honestly, yeah.
and it's fun. I know.
Yeah.
It's like meeting new people
Yeah.
and talking and driving. Yeah,